Hey guys, it's me, John Avenger, once again, and welcome to another All Things Green month. And yes, finally getting to the Shrek sequels. This is the first one that came out. I think it's the most overrated of the three, but I do like the film. I don't think it's horrible, but I like the others. I think the two, three, and four are more underrated. That is Shrek 2. This was the highest grossing animated movie in the world back in 2004. When it came out, it made a ton of money. It made more than the first one, and it was the highest grossing animated movie until movies like, well, now we have three of the biggest Disney animated films of all time now. We have Frozen and Finding Dory and Toy Story 3. All those films blew this movie out of the water. And they are better than this, but I do like this film. I'm not going to say that this movie sucks. I bought it last year again because I had the full screen version for many years, so it was time to get the widescreen version to see this movie the way it was intended to with that black bar. Now, Shrek 2, I saw this in the theater back when I was in my late teens. I saw this with my sister in the theater. Uh, we had laughed. We loved the characters from the first one coming back: Shrek, Donkey, and Fiona. And basically, Fiona is sent an invitation from her parents, the king and queen of Far, Far Away, so that she can attend and they could get their blessing before. So now that they're married, and hijinks ensue. I think Far, Far Away is a nice change of pace. It's not just the swamp again and the woods from the first film, and I do like the film. I think the new characters. I'm mixed on some of them. I'm gonna say that right now. Like Puss in Boots, I think he was good in this movie. In the other two sequels, he kind of gets like lost in the shuffle, especially in four. They underuse him, and Banderas did what he could. In the second one, he pretty much is. He's like a Zorro like cat named Puss in Boots. I mean, his movie I didn't watch it because that was already too late for me. But anyway, they meet Puss in Boots. He attacks Shrek. They think he's just a cute little kitty, and he's not. He's got a sword, and he's like, "Oh, I'll tell you where the what is it the not the witch the fairy godmother, who she's not what she seems. I'm gonna say that." And also, yeah, the other side characters. There's too many British people in this movie. I'm gonna say that right now. You got, well, Julie Andrews, who plays the queen. She's good. John Cleese, he plays the king. He's fine. Jennifer Saunders, her singing is really good, but her as a character, I'm like, yeah, I grew to hate her character. I'm sorry. She's like a knockoff Disney villain, and I like her singing. I think her singing is fantastic. She's fine in that because when she first appears, she sings like in a Disney. She's like, "Your fallen tears have called to me, so here's my sweet remedy. I know what every princess needs for her to live life happily." That's a really good intro for her character. But once she reveals herself, I'm like, she's not really much of a threat. And Prince Charming, you got gay Rupert Everett. Yay! An LGBT actor that I don't give a fuck about. But hey, I will say this: he's fine in this movie. In the sequel, in three, when they make him the main focus, he's unbearably annoying. And I'm like, please just get rid of him. He was the dumbass that he ruined Doctor Claw in Inspector Gadget. That movie I'm gonna rant about soon, but not today. But it's a good sequel. I think the animation is just as good as the first one. The soundtrack is really spot on. I Need a Hero. That's a great song. I remember that from Short Circuit 2. The beginning of the film, Accidentally in Love. It was nominated for an Oscar. It was good. That was fine. And let's face it, if Disney had not done The Incredibles, this would have won Best Animated Film easily. But Disney is just, let's face it, that Pixar and Disney are unstoppable at the box office and at the theaters when it comes to their animated films because they always make money and they take home the Oscar almost every year, except like Rango and a couple of other animes that won or whatever nominated. But this is a good sequel. It advances the story. The characters are still funny. I love the main cast. Mike Myers is still great as Shrek. Donkey, Eddie Murphy steals the show. He also becomes a horse in the movie, which is great. I like that part. He's a white horse, and yet he's a black man, so that's funny. And Cameron Diaz, this is when she was still, a bankable star that people liked until she did, Bad Teacher, and then it was downhill from there. But here she's good. I don't have a problem with her. And there's a lot of nods to the first film where she turns human again, And the Shrek, you see him as a human. That was fun. That was fun to see Shrek human. He's chubby. He looks like a white Incredible Hulk. Um, the film does a lot of things right, and it's not very long. It's 92 minutes, so it doesn't take very long to get through it. Some animated movies are really long, like the first Cars. That movie was boring, but Cars doesn't have a green character. But I do like Shrek too. It has a lot of good things to it. Some of the cast I'm kind of mixed on. Like I said, Jennifer Saunders, good singing. Like I said, I'm not going to take that away from her because she's a Broadway actress, but her acting was fine. Just her character did nothing for me as a villain. I'm like, this isn't threatening. She's not as threatening as Farquaad was in the first film. And Rupert Everett, no, get out of here. Do you think so, Father? No, you sound like a game show host. No. And the king and queen are fine. Julie Andrews, she's a legend. I'm gonna miss her when she passes away one day. And John Cleese, they're fine. They're not really that memorable, but they're fine in the film. You also have the other returning characters. You have Gingy, the gingerbread man. You got the three little pigs, Pinocchio, the wolf. There's a lot of things from the first film that I liked. I still prefer the first film because it was more deeper, and the story was much more fluent, and it didn't have like 15 new characters. But it's a good sequel in its own right. And all I can say is why I say it was overrated because it got so much praise when it came out. It was like Toy Story 3 that everybody and their mother loved this movie and said it was the best animated film of all time. I'm like, it's good, but it's not the best. I think the first one is better. Just looking back, I like the first one deserved the Oscar for best animated film, and I like the soundtrack more. It was a simpler story and it was grounded. This is a good sequel, but it does have its share of flaws. And the Spanish of Banderas, I get it. He's Spaniard. We get it. Okay, he played Zorro. We get it. I think it's a little bit too much here. Half the audience wanted some subtitles because they didn't know what the hell he was saying. Well, you can't win them all, but it's a good sequel. I'm gonna say that Shrek 2. Anyway, thanks guys for watching. My dog is barking up a storm. She barks at everything. So if you hear barking in the video, you know why. But anyway, thanks for watching my videos. And the next Shrek movie will be the third one, which I think is extremely underrated because a lot of people said it was horrible. I disagree. I think it's fun and it has even more characters. So get ready for that one next time. It won't be the next review, but it'll be soon. So take care, guys.